Wouldn't it be nice if directly in Salesforce, you could see how each of your accounts was using your product and identify which one of them was a churn risk or which ones were healthy? Well, today in this short demo, I'm going to show you how you can do that with Census without having to mess around with CSV files or asking for help from your engineering or data team. So I've got a Salesforce instance here with a bunch of accounts that we've sold, and we sell them this software with a set of licenses. And I've created fields to track how users are using the product, but I have no data here. I don't know how many users are actually signed in. I don't know how many of them have been active in the last 30 days. So I'm going to use Census to populate these fields and keep them in sync as the customers use the product more or less. To achieve this, we need to do three things. We're going to plug Census into our data warehouse. We support all the major data warehouses. Then we're going to connect to Salesforce. And then we're going to choose which objects we want to sync and map the fields between them. So let's get going. First, I'm connecting our data warehouse. So Redshift is our most popular warehouse. And I'm just going to put in next is connecting Salesforce. The final step is a simple query that you can use to decide what data you want to move from your database to Salesforce. In this case, I'm going to use a very simple query that maps every single organization that uses our product. Once I've created that query, and you can make them arbitrarily complex or just rely on your data team to build tables that you can use. Then we can start creating a sync. To do that, we pick a source, in our case, the company's query, and we pick a destination. We can sync directly into any object in Salesforce. All of the built-in objects are supported, as well as the custom objects that you create. We also need to decide what is the identifier that will connect the database to Salesforce, each record. In this case, each record has a company ID that is pulled in from our database. And finally, we support a lot of different behaviors for our syncs. Today, I'm going to use the enrich behavior, which only updates the records that already exist in Salesforce. It does not create new ones, which you might do if you wanted to create leads or something like that. Final step is just mapping the fields. We support all the fields that exist on your Salesforce object, and I'm going to pick the ones that we wanted to map today. Once I've created the sync, I can start running it. I'm going to kick off a sync now. And while it's running, I'm going to show you how you can change the schedule at which the sync runs. So we support a pretty standard kind of schedule from daily to hourly, but all the way to continuous. Once it's finished running, I can see that I have 25 records that have been updated. And if I go back into Salesforce and refresh this page, I can now see that all the data is there and up to date. Even better, I can now build a report so that I can monitor all the accounts that our team is looking at and at a glance understand which ones are at risk so that we can prevent churn before it's too late. And the best part is that you didn't have to ask engineering for anything, and you can keep tweaking this for yourself. For example, I missed adding the number of active users for this report, and I can go back into our sync, click edit, and add active users as a mapping. And then we're done. This is one of the many use cases you can build with Census. Once you have product data in Salesforce, you can do scoring or routing or alerting. We would love to hear what you would do with this kind of data, so please send us a note.